After 4 weeks of being locked inside, man, I was going stir crazy. So I decided to come out. I wanted to run some trails, and I also wanted to show you guys that I did the first part of the project here of Project Generation 1 Raptor. So 2011 Ford Raptor, bone stock, nothing's been done to it, and it is got almost 90,000 miles on it. I got it for a steal. So I'm going to be playing around with this, and this will be like the first episode of the project, just showing you as I go some of the stuff I'm going to be trying to do to this, and a lot of it is going to be testing. So anything I show you today, I'm not recommending because I haven't tested it yet. This stuff here, if it doesn't work, I'm going to report back. If it does work, I'll report back, but I'm not going to recommend it until I test it. If you can see, along the bed, I added a rolling bed cover. All right, we'll get a closer look at this in a second. So rolling bed cover. And what I like about it is I don't like my trucks with too much stuff on the bed. I like the look of a truck the way it is. I'm turning this way because the wind is blowing and I'm trying to put my back to it. So take a look at the truck for a little bit here. But as far as Project Raptor goes, I did a couple of things. So one thing I did is I was able to make my own plate. So this is the part here, between here and here, that I replaced. So it runs the full length from here all the way over to here. And I had to drill 2 holes, 4, 6, 8 holes to line them up perfectly. My big concern was that these bolts are the ones that were on the plastic liner that form fitted to the handle. But I was able to reuse them because the factory replacement piece goes down. It's like shaped like this. And where those screw holes are, it goes down by them. So there's a gap there. But these have their own natural standoffs on them. So it's not trying to push this down. It's like perfectly against it. I had to use a couple washers on the ends. But when they rhino line this, they take this off and rhino line the underneath, both sides of this, and put it back on. And when they rhino lined those holes, it helped reinforce the holes so they weren't feeling like they were going to strip. But you can see how flat this is now. You know, here's a normal tailgate with their ridges, which are fine, but even if you wanted to set like a coffee cup down, if you set it down wrong, you could tip that thing over here easily. It's something that you usually pay attention to on a bed. But with this, I mean, this is wide. I forget what the actual measurement is. It's about, well, 8 to 10 inches wide. So you can easily set stuff down on here. You can set your stove down on here, a jet boil, things like that. It was kind of a headache to do it, but I tell you what, Ford wanted $400 and something for this little piece that goes here. And I bought $17 worth of metal myself and figured it out. So the other big thing I did was I went ahead, I was a little back and forth with this as far as this goes, but I went ahead and I'm gonna give it a try. It's one of those rolling bed covers. And this one is made by Retrax, which is pretty good, pretty expensive. They're not cheap. But this specific one, usually when you want to do some kind of cover here, whether it be like a tonneau, a folder, a fiberglass, whatever, rolling, even like this one, it eliminates your ability to put on these bed rails that will clamp on and kind of bring you over and allow you storage up here. Bicycles, kayaks, canoes. Most likely for me would be like a rooftop tent, some sort of tent up here. But when you do that, it eliminates your ability to put something here because they both share the same attachment point, which is the top part of the bed rail and the inside of the bed rail inside the bed. Well, this company, Retrax, and I didn't know anything about these. It was all internet research. They decided to combine rails with this. So it's built into, I've got rails built into this. And these rails apparently are some sort of industry standard sizing because on the website it says it fits with Thule, Yakima, and Rhino. And I got my eye on these other ones. This one's called Front Runner. Now, Front Runner makes, they make racks, they make all kinds of stuff, but they're load bars, what they call the bar, you know, the bars that go across. You've seen them on the top of Subarus, on Toyotas. Some of them, they go on the roof of the vehicle and they clamp into the gutters, and then you can put a rack up there. Well, these are just, I'm just looking for the load bars to go across. And their load bars look pretty beefy, right? They're really, they're not like, they don't look like I'm going on a damn skiing trip. You know, a lot of those like Yakima and Thule and mountain biking, skiing, stuff like that. That's where they came from. And they're very sleek looking, but that's not what I'm going for. I'm going for toughness. So I'm gonna check in with the guys at Front Runner and see if something will fit on here. But this thing, it's got, my truck is leaning forward now on the side of a hill, but it effortlessly rolls all the way up to there. It effortlessly rolls all the way. And this is not, it's not bolted in. All these systems are clamp in. So it's got 4 clamps. Now, I just started doing a little off-roading today, so I don't know exactly how tough this thing is. My concern is, if you're just cruising, right, it's not that big of a deal. But if you're moving and you see, anyone who owns a pickup knows, you see that bed shake because it's not a unibody, right? The bed and the cab are separate. And the frame is designed to twist, right? And so out at the tail out here, one, you don't have a whole lot of weight. There's not a lot of weight back here. You got the engine in the front, you got the cab in the middle. Back here, there's not a whole lot of weight. That's why a lot of people will put spare tires, jacks, they'll put stuff back here to actually add weight to make it more stable. But when you get that rattling and rolling, and if I get some load bars across here and get some weight on these rails, I really got to put this thing through its tests, because I mean, hey, I like the small pedal, right? I don't like the brake pedal, I like the gas pedal, and especially in a vehicle like this. If I see a road that looks like fun, I'm gonna get on it, kind of what I'm doing out here. So I do need to test it, but I wanted to show you the first couple of the progress that I'm making. I did the bed liner, I replaced the pole because I needed my tailgate to be flat, so I replaced the pole. That's been lined, and then I put this retract system in. So you can stop this at anywhere and lock it. You can lock it at any point and it locks in. Locks in pretty good. So I guess if you're carrying something that sticks up and it's only going to be part of the bed, you could roll that thing up to it if you wanted to, or leave it. So that seems kind of nice. The idea behind this is I wanted to be able to put stuff in here, try and keep it, you know, the dust and the rain and snow off of it. I know it's not 100% weatherproof. You know, truck beds are never that way. You can do a lot of work to try and get it there, but it's a very tough thing unless you put like a camper shell or one of those. I had one which was that fiberglass that covered the whole thing, and it came over the edges. You had to push the whole thing up. You know, it was like a lid like this. And I had a bed rug in there. Never, ever any weather got into that. But you're limited by it. Now you can't actually put anything big in your bed without taking that out. And it's on those big gas shocks to put them up in there. So I wanted to try this out. We'll see how it goes. And it also, obviously it locks. You can lock the tailgate. I wouldn't recommend long-term leaving stuff in here, but you know, be able to leave some stuff in there, go into the store or whatever. If I'm out, you know, at the range or just whatever, camping gear, I think it's a good thing. So I'm out here on some trails that I've driven once before a few years ago on our Can We Survive channel. I was in my Jeep, and what we were trying to find, I believe it's called the Great Western Trail. It goes from like Flagstaff all the way down, I think into Phoenix, maybe beyond, but there's all these really cool sections up in this northern area. And this was one of the sections that we found just before it ended, and it crossed the 17. Now, the 17 is a freeway, a highway that runs north and south from Phoenix to Flagstaff. And it's not that far over there. You see that hill right there? It's kind of at the base of that. So a couple miles that way. So I almost go to it and then turn around and get up into this area. But it's this crazy, right here, if you can see, it's not flat, but it's all rolling through here. But it's a single 2-lane track that comes through here, goes up and down hills, and I'm surrounded by giant mountains, except for just right here. A couple miles that way, it starts to head up. It heads up to about almost 8,000 feet. 7,700 feet, and you run along that ridge line for like 20-30 miles, then it drops down, then it goes up again, up when you get toward Flagstaff. It's a really fun trail. But this section here, I thought, I'm gonna come out and run the truck, see if I can run at speed a little bit, see how it does on these little 2-lane tracks. I thought it'd be kind of fun. That's gonna be it for me today, you guys. I just wanted to show you guys a couple of the little projects I've been doing on the Raptor. Come out, get out, talk to you guys. But really, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm out here for my own piece of sanity, man. I was going, what do they call that? Cabin fever, stir crazy. Just bored, and I'm hyper. I'm not hyper. Yeah, I'm hyper. I just like to get out and do stuff. Even if it's get out for an hour, run a dirt trail. Get out for an hour, go to the desert range and go shoot. Get out and go climb a mountain, but not doing that for too long. That's not healthy for me either. And I would imagine it's probably not healthy for some of you guys as well. So if you have the chance to safely get out without running into people, without doing all that stuff, probably do it. We need to keep our level heads, right? Get out and have some smiles, breathe some fresh air and wind. All right, thanks for watching, you guys.